this started, as long as all of you can give me a thumbs up that you're ready to hear me. Cool. All right, so I'm going to be presenting today on how to enroll in classes through SIS, which I know all of you have been through it at least once, but there's lots of fun tricks and tips with SIS that even some of our fourth years who have done it a bunch of times are still learning. So I think this is something that hopefully will be able to help a lot of you. So today, all right, there we go. We're going to go over some different enrollment tips, kind of why shopping carts are really important, how to use shopping carts, enrollment dates and times, searching for classes in SIS, because that can be a whole lot of fun. And then two of the things that a lot of our students really get tripped up on is the restriction dates when they lift and reserve groups and stuff on seats. Along with that, perspectives and wait lists, and most importantly, why you don't want to panic if you don't get in it first day. So some of the nice successful tips for enrollment is discussing class options with your academic advisor, which if you haven't already talked to your advisor, Lynn does have walk-ins this afternoon. I have walk-ins again that I'm holding next week, both on Monday and Thursday. So feel free to stop into those. Or if you just want an updated copy of your worksheet, please send me an email. Lynn and Wendy are pretty busy with a lot of appointments. I can update a worksheet and send that to you pretty quickly. Check your enrollment appointment. Those all got posted on Monday. So you can go in and see when you are going to be enrolling next week and make sure you have that in your calendar so you don't miss it. Review any of the holds that might be on your account, and then searching for classes, building your shopping cart, and then double checking to make sure that it validates and that you're in classes that you should be taking, and then you're going to be enrolling in classes. So like I said, making sure that you contact your advisor. There are walk-in hours with both me and Lynn. And then also reviewing your AAR in SIS to make sure to see what classes you might want to take. That goes along with the academic worksheet that we can email you. SIS updates real time, so you can always use that as well. So for your enrollment appointments, you can actually, like I said, start doing that as of Monday, and you can go in and check when you're going to be able to enroll. Enrollment starts next week. Grad students will start on Monday, and then it goes down by year level after that. And you can start building your shopping cart now. So to check your enrollment time, if you go into SIS, into the little category that says Enroll and Search, there's actually a tab that says Enrollment Dates, and you'll want to check off for fall. Since summer enrollment is going on right now as well, you'll want to make sure that you're checking off fall to see the enrollment dates for the fall semester. If you want to enroll in summer, you can already enroll in summer. You don't have to build a shopping cart. You can just go ahead and enroll. Along with that, it's really good to check to make sure that there's no holds on your account that are going to prevent you from enrolling. So that way you can take care of those holds now as opposed to after the fact. Those could be advising holds, or it could be a financial hold. So if you actually go into SIS, you can go into the little tile that has tasks on it. It's a task tile. If it says no current tasks, you're good to go. But if you have a hold, it's going to actually illustrate that to say what kind of hold, and you can click on that to kind of see what. So that could be a financial hold, in which means that there's money due. if there is, you'll want to get a hold of Student Financial Services and Financial Aid sooner rather than later, because you won't be able to enroll until that hold is removed. Similarly, with an advising hold, that's something that you would definitely want to check in with either Lynn or Wendy to make sure that you can schedule an appointment to remove that hold. Any of the advising holds won't be removed through walk-ins. They have to be appointments. So hopefully everybody has already scheduled those appointments. So now I'm going to do kind of a live demo on some stuff. So on SIS, like I was saying before, if you have holds, the task bar right here, that's where you want to go to be able to check that. For enrollment, you're going to go to Enroll and Search. With that, when you start wanting to look for classes for the fall semester, you're going to go under Class Search and Enroll, and then check off the fall semester. If you're looking for summer, you can do that as well and look under summer, but we're going to focus on fall. There's lots of ways that you can search for classes in SIS. If you know what course that you're looking for specifically, you can type that class right in to the search bar and hit enter. Which, look at me go. There we go. So you'll notice that there are 14 sections of Math 181 and 8 sections of 181A. To see more information on those, you can click on the specific course you're looking for, and you're going to see all of the different courses in here. For a lot of classes in fall, you're going to see a combination of fully in-person, or there's going to be a lot of different split sections, which I'll pull up a CSEC class to show that in just a minute, to be able to make sure you're selecting based on which split option you want. If you didn't see, RIT did send out an email that once we hear back from the state on capacities in classrooms, some of those split courses may turn fully in person. They're split right now because of room capacities, but we're hoping to have classes back a lot of the classes back fully in person in the fall. So those may change as the summer progresses. So make sure you're checking back on your schedule to see any changes that might occur in the schedule. But with classes, as you're going through, you can kind of scroll through to see which section or professor you might want. And then if you find the one that you want, you can click on the class, and it's going to have you review that that's the correct class that you were looking for. You can hit next. You can decide whether you want to be waitlisted if the class were to fill, in which then you can select yes, and then hit accept. It's going to verify one more time that that's the class that you want, and then hit submit. And once you hit yes that you want to submit, it's going to add that course to your shopping cart. You're going to continue to do that for the rest of the courses that you would want for the fall semester. In that same search menu, if you don't know the specific course and you kind of want to just do a more broad search, you can always go to additional ways to search. And you can either search by the subject matter. So if you knew that it was a computing security class, but you had no idea what the course number was, or you just wanted to see everything that we had offered for the semester, you can go in under our category. I always recommend when you're doing a larger search to make sure that you're checking just the main campus. Otherwise, you're going to see courses that are taught in Dubai, and you don't want to be taking half your classes here and half of them in another country. And you can hit search. And now you're going to see all the different courses that we're offering in the security department for the fall semester. When I was talking earlier about the split sections, when it says that there's 2 class options, there is only one section of the CDT, but you'll notice that there's two different splits, so you can select which one you want. For me, because I already put one in my shopping cart, it's already letting me know that this is going to be a time conflict for the in-person portion. Additionally, in that search thing, you can search by attributes. So for example, let's say you were searching for a specific perspective that you wanted to look for. You can go in and you can search for all global perspectives or ethical perspectives. Maybe you were looking for high flex online or writing intensive classes for either first year writing or just the gen ed writing intensive. Lots of different categories that you can kind of narrow your search based on what you're looking for. But let's say you looked for your artistic perspective. Once you get into this category, you can also narrow it down even further, because you're going to notice that there's quite a few different category or classes you can choose for the artistic perspective. But you can actually come over to the far left-hand side of the screen and narrow it down even further. So you can do it by credit numbers, by days of the week. So let's say you know you already have a very full schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but now you're looking for some liberal arts classes to fill out your schedule on Tuesday, Thursday. You can do specifically what classes are offered on those days. Or even maybe you have specific time frames that really work better for you to fill in versus just scrolling through all the liberal arts trying to find something that fits into just a narrow time block. So that helps along that way. So when you start building up your shopping cart, one of the things that you're going to want to make sure you're doing is, once you build your shopping cart, review that you have put in classes that actually will apply to you. So once you go into your shopping cart and all 4 or 5 classes are in there, they'll have a little checkbox next to it, and a validate button will appear at the top of the screen that you'll be able to click, and it will come up with any restrictions, prereq issues that you might have to be able to take that class. So one of the main things that I really want to focus on is talking about restrictions that students might come across outside of a class being full. That's a pretty obvious one, because it shows the little triangle that it's waitlisted, or the blue block that shows that even the waitlist is closed. A lot of times students don't realize the prereq issues or the reserve group issue. And there's an easy way to note that and see that in SIS. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to pull up CSEC 473, because that was one we were already looking at. And when you come into the class, if you select anywhere that is not the blue hyperlink, it's going to move you forward to adding it to your shopping cart. If you want to know more details on the class, you can click on the hyperlink, and it's going to give you the course description, any prereqs the class might have, and that's all under the enrollment information. If you then move over to the class availability, it's going to break down things a little bit further if there's seats that are reserved for a specific major or immersion, students that are in a minor, and lots of classes have all sorts of different seats reserved for specific groups. In computing security, the week of enrollment, we reserve all of our seats to security students and security minors. So you'll notice by year level, we actually have, because it's an upper level advanced class, that we reserve most of the seats are reserved for our security students, but then we also reserve some seats for our minor as well. And it will, you can ignore the 3/26 date. The top date is when those restrictions went on to SIS. The more important date is that other one, the one that says 4/18 for this class specifically, because that's the date that the course restrictions come off. So if you went and let's say this was a iSchool class, and you were looking to get into a networking course and the restriction says 4/18, you can put yourself on the wait list, and then on that 4/18, the restrictions are going to come off and the students on the wait list will auto be put into the course. And then after that, other students are able to enroll if seats are open. But I always recommend put yourself on the wait list, because that way it's a much better chance of you getting into the section than just waiting until restrictions drop. So now, when it comes to actually enrolling in classes, now that all of your classes are in your shopping cart, next week on your actual enrollment day and time, you'll be able to go in, go right back to that enroll and search, select your shopping cart, and you'll be able to select the classes that you want. You can have far more classes in your shopping cart than you're actually looking to enroll in, and I often recommend that. So that way, if a course does fill or a specific section you want fills, you'll have another course in your shopping cart ready to go to select and add into your schedule. That actually plays very close into my next slide, which is on swap and waitlist. I always tell students waitlists are really, really important and a feature that students should use. But more important than just waitlisting your class is setting up a swap. And setting up a swap is something that you want to do from the very beginning, because if you just waitlist yourself and then later decide that you want to set up the swap, you have to drop yourself from the waitlist and set up the swap, which means now you go from position 2 to position 10. The advantage of swap over waitlist is it allows you to enroll in some other course that might be a backup section or just a backup course in general that will still fill credits that you need to take towards your degree. It just might not be your ideal section or course that you want to take for the fall term. But it's always better to fill a requirement than have less credits than you need. So let's say you need an artistic perspective and you really want the film course, but there's no seats open, so you enroll in the creative writing class. You can enroll in creative writing and set it up as a swap for that film class. And so that way, if let's say you're second on the wait list and all of a sudden you move up to first on the wait list and a seat opens, it's going to kick you out of that creative writing class and add you to the film class. If you just waitlisted yourself and didn't set it up as a swap, but you still added that creative writing class, a few things may happen. One, adding that film class that you wanted, if it will take you over 18 credits by adding it, it's going to skip you and add the person below you. If it conflicts on time, it will do the same thing. Or if it's the same course, just a different section, it's going to notice that you're already enrolled in a class and not going to add you. Swapping it will make sure that it drops that other conflicting issue so that you can be enrolled in the class that you actually want. And earlier I talked about the different walk-in hours. So those are the links that you guys can use to be able to come visit either me or Lynn next week if you're having any enrollment issues. Lynn has walk-in hours this afternoon, so you're able to join those as well. If you're just looking to either have your shopping cart reviewed or have a copy of your worksheet sent, please send me an email or send it to the CSEC advising. Both me and Rita are checking that very regularly. It shows up in my inbox the same way as if you were to send an email to me directly. And so I can get back to you pretty quickly with a response to things. I will say going forward, we do get reports towards the end of shopping carts of how many students have enrolled, put classes into their shopping cart. We have not had very many students utilize the shopping cart feature. I'm going to stress that there is a lot of value in building your shopping cart early, even if you don't necessarily see it that way. From our end, we can actually monitor how many students are planning on taking a specific course or a specific section, and see that before enrollment actually happens. So if we only have one section and its offers only has 30 seats, but we see there's 60 people that have it in their shopping cart, we can start working to start building a new section prior to enrollment. Otherwise, we're not going to see that issue until after the fact. So the sooner you put things in your shopping cart, it allows you to validate. Sometimes there's glitches and issues in SIS that we can fix before enrollment. So it's not going to prevent you from enrolling in a class you should be able to enroll in. And those happen, I promise. And it also helps us with planning to make sure that we're offering enough sections and seats in a class that students are really looking to pursue. So it may be a little bit late in the game for us to assess that since enrollment starts on Monday, but for future semesters, I highly recommend building that shopping cart ahead of time so that we can actually give as many advantages to getting students into classes as we can. And lastly, if any of you guys have any questions, feel free to turn off your mic or turn on your mic and shout them out at me. Otherwise, I'm going to stop sharing. And you know what? I never recorded this and I was supposed to hit record. But if you guys want to ask me some questions, that would be super awesome. Otherwise, I will let you go. Or you can throw it in the chat if you prefer. All right, well, you guys seem to be all set and ready to go, so I appreciate you coming. And if you have any further questions, please shoot me an email. Otherwise, thanks for attending. Bye, guys. Thank you. Did you happen to hit record? Because I didn't. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the club, guys.